You meet someone for the first time. Within the first few minutes, they say simple, ordinary words, but you feel strangely drawn to them. There's something about the way they communicate that makes you want to stay and listen more. It's not because they're physically attractive. It's not because they're wealthy or successful. It's because the words they choose to use reveal their true character. And humans have a natural instinct to be drawn to strong, authentic character. What's important is that you understand I'm not teaching you how to manipulate or use magic words to control others. I'm going to show you how to recognize genuine character through language and why virtue has a natural magnetism that doesn't require any pretense or performance. Marcus Aurelius, who learned to read people through complex political struggles, wrote, "Observe their actions, understand their motives, and discover their inner nature." Language is the window into that inner nature. The difference between surface charm and genuine attractiveness lies in authenticity. Surface charm tries to impress through performance, but authentic character attracts through truth. When someone's words reveal real virtue, integrity, courage, empathy, wisdom, people are naturally drawn to them because these qualities signal safety, reliability, and depth. Today, I'm revealing 6 specific words that reveal someone's true character and explaining why we're naturally attracted to people who use them genuinely. The 4th word is particularly powerful because it demonstrates a rare form of courage in our modern society. Understanding this will help you not only read others better, but also build stronger character in yourself. Stick around, hit that subscribe button, and let's get wiser together. Word number 1, sorry, when they're actually wrong. Real character shows up in how someone handles being wrong. When someone says sorry and actually means it, taking full responsibility without excuses, deflection, or attempts to minimize their mistake, it reveals emotional maturity, humility, and integrity that's becoming increasingly rare in our world. Most people, when caught in an error, immediately go into defensive mode. They make excuses, blame circumstances, or try to shift responsibility to others. They might say things like, "I'm sorry, but," or "I'm sorry you feel that way," which aren't real apologies at all. But when someone can cleanly admit, "I'm sorry, I was wrong," without any qualifiers, it reveals something profound about their character. I watched this play out during a corporate presentation where a manager accidentally gave incorrect financial projections to a room full of executives. The mistake was significant and potentially embarrassing. Instead of trying to cover it up, make excuses, or blame her team for providing wrong information, she stopped mid-sentence and said, "I'm sorry, I was completely wrong about those numbers. Let me pause this presentation and get the accurate information right now." The room went quiet for a moment, but something remarkable happened. The respect for her actually increased. The executives appreciated her honesty and integrity more than they would have appreciated a flawless presentation. Her willingness to admit error immediately demonstrated that she valued accuracy and truth over protecting her ego. Genuine apologies are magnetic because they show someone prioritizes truth and relationships over self-protection. When someone can admit they're wrong, it demonstrates several attractive character traits simultaneously. They're secure enough in themselves to acknowledge imperfection. They're honest enough to face reality even when it's uncomfortable. And they're mature enough to take responsibility for their actions. This reveals emotional courage of the highest order. In a world where everyone is trying to appear perfect and infallible, someone who can admit mistakes stands out like a beacon of authenticity. It shows they're more committed to growth and accuracy than to maintaining a facade of perfection. Epictetus taught that acknowledging ignorance is the beginning of wisdom. Those who can say sorry genuinely are demonstrating this principle in action. They understand that mistakes are learning opportunities, not threats to their identity. This mindset makes them incredibly attractive because people know they can trust someone who will admit when they're wrong rather than doubling down on errors. The key is recognizing the difference between authentic and manipulative apologies. Real apologies are specific about what went wrong, take full responsibility without deflection, and don't include the word "but" or any attempt to justify the mistake. They're about acknowledging impact, not defending intention. Fake apologies, on the other hand, are designed to end the conversation rather than take real responsibility. They often blame the other person's feelings, "I'm sorry you're upset," or include justifications that negate the apology, "I'm sorry, but you have to understand." When you encounter someone who can apologize authentically, you're seeing someone who has mastered one of the most difficult aspects of human relationships: the ability to be wrong gracefully. This trait alone makes someone incredibly attractive because it signals they'll be honest, accountable, and growth-oriented in any relationship. If you've learned to appreciate genuine apologies over perfect performances, comment one below to encourage others who value real accountability over ego protection. Genuine apologies reveal integrity and emotional maturity, but our second word reveals something even deeper about someone's character, their natural inclination towards service and awareness of others' needs. Word number 2, help, offered without being asked. The word help reveals whether someone sees opportunities to serve or only focuses on their own needs. When someone notices you're struggling and offers help before you ask for it, it reveals exceptional situational awareness, genuine empathy, and a generous spirit that looks beyond their own immediate concerns. This kind of unsolicited assistance demonstrates emotional intelligence of the highest order. It means they're paying attention to what's happening around them, reading social and emotional cues accurately, and choosing to act on what they observe. In a world where most people are absorbed in their phones or their own thoughts, someone who notices when you need help stands out dramatically. I experienced this during a particularly busy conference where I was clearly overwhelmed, trying to juggle multiple bags, presentation materials, and a coffee while navigating through crowded hallways. Most people simply walked past, absorbed in their own agendas. But one person stopped and simply said, "Can I help you carry some of those?" There was no agenda behind the offer, no expectation of reciprocation, just genuine recognition that I could use assistance. What made this so striking was the purity of the intention. This person gained nothing from helping me. We weren't networking contacts, there was no business relationship to develop, and I couldn't offer anything in return. They simply saw someone who needed help and offered it naturally, as if it were the most obvious thing in the world. Unsolicited help is magnetically attractive because it reveals someone who will be supportive and aware in relationships. When someone notices your struggles without you having to point them out, it shows they're emotionally tuned in and genuinely care about others' well-being. This predicts how they'll behave in closer relationships. They'll notice when you're stressed, overwhelmed, or struggling and offer support before you have to ask for it. Most people are too self-focused to notice when others need assistance. They're managing their own tasks, solving their own problems, and pursuing their own goals. Someone who can step outside this self-absorption to notice and address others' needs demonstrates a rare combination of awareness and generosity that makes them incredibly attractive as friends, colleagues, and partners. Marcus Aurelius wrote extensively about our duty to help one another and contribute to the common good. Those who embody this principle naturally, without thinking about it or expecting recognition, are living according to virtue in its purest form. They understand intuitively that we're all connected and that helping others ultimately serves everyone. The key distinction is between genuine offers of help and performative assistance. Real help is offered quietly, without fanfare, and doesn't come with strings attached. The person offering isn't looking for recognition, reciprocation, or social credit. They simply see a need and respond to it naturally. Look for people who offer help before being asked, who notice when you're struggling, even when you're trying to hide it, and who assist without expecting anything in return. These individuals have developed the kind of character that creates deep, lasting relationships because they're fundamentally oriented towards service rather than self-interest. When someone's first instinct is to ask, "Can I help?" rather than walk past your struggle, you're seeing someone whose character has been shaped by empathy and genuine care for others. This natural inclination toward helpfulness reveals the kind of person who will show up for you in both small daily moments and major life challenges. If you naturally notice when others need assistance and offer help without being asked, comment 2 below to inspire others to develop this awareness and generosity. Offering help shows generosity and awareness, but our third word reveals someone's relationship with truth, even when that truth is inconvenient or socially awkward. Word number 3, actually, when correcting misinformation. How someone handles truth when it's inconvenient reveals their character core. When someone says actually to gently correct misinformation, even when it's socially awkward, benefits no one personally, or goes against popular opinion, it reveals unwavering integrity, intellectual courage, and a commitment to truth over comfort. This might seem like a small thing, but it's actually one of the most revealing character tests. Most people, when they hear incorrect information being shared, make a quick mental calculation. Is it worth the potential conflict to correct this? Usually, they decide it's not, especially if the misinformation isn't directly harming them or if correcting it might make them seem argumentative or superior. But some people simply cannot let falsehoods stand, regardless of the social cost. They're compelled by their integrity to speak truth, even when it would be easier to stay silent. This reveals someone whose commitment to accuracy transcends their desire for social approval or comfort. I witnessed this during a dinner party where someone confidently shared a statistic about climate change that was completely incorrect. The misinformation was being accepted by the group, and correcting it would clearly shift the conversation into uncomfortable territory. Most people at the table either didn't know the real facts or chose not to speak up. One person quietly said, "Actually, the latest research shows something quite different," and then gently provided the accurate information with references to credible sources. They gained absolutely nothing from this correction. It didn't advance their career, impress anyone romantically, or serve any personal agenda. They simply couldn't allow incorrect information to spread when they knew the truth. What made this so attractive was the way they did it, without arrogance, without making others feel stupid, and without any desire to prove intellectual superiority. They corrected the misinformation because accuracy mattered to them more than social ease, but they did it with respect and humility. People who prioritize truth over convenience are magnetically attractive because you can trust them completely. If they're willing to speak truth when it's socially awkward, you know they'll be honest with you even when that honesty is difficult. They won't tell you what you want to hear just to avoid conflict. They'll tell you what you need to hear because truth matters more to them than temporary comfort. The Stoics valued truth as fundamental to virtue, understanding that a society built on accurate information functions better than one built on comfortable lies. Those who gently correct misinformation, even when it's inconvenient, are demonstrating philosophical courage and commitment to the common good. This isn't about being a know-it-all or intellectual bully. The key distinction is motivation and delivery. Someone with strong character corrects misinformation to serve truth, not to demonstrate superiority. They do it gently, respectfully, and with genuine desire to improve everyone's understanding rather than to make themselves look smart. Look for people who will politely fact-check claims, who provide sources for their corrections, and who seem genuinely interested in accuracy rather than winning arguments. These individuals have developed the rare combination of knowledge, courage, and humility that makes them incredibly trustworthy and attractive. When someone chooses truth over social comfort consistently, they're revealing a character foundation that prioritizes reality over illusion, accuracy over popularity, and integrity over approval. This foundation makes them magnetic because people instinctively know they can rely on such a person to be honest in all circumstances. Truth-telling takes everyday courage, but our fourth word reveals the rarest and most attractive form of social bravery. If this content is helping you recognize the subtle signs of strong character, please like this video and subscribe to Stoic Training to continue learning how to develop these virtues in yourself. Now, let's explore the fourth word that reveals the rarest form of social courage. Word number 4, no, when setting boundaries. The ability to say no reveals the rarest form of social courage. When someone says no to requests that violate their values, boundaries, or well-being, even when it's socially difficult or disappointing to others, it reveals extraordinary strength of character, self-respect, and integrity that's almost magnetic in its rarity. Most people are chronic people-pleasers who say yes to avoid conflict, disappointing others, or seeming difficult. They overcommit, violate their own boundaries, and compromise their values because they fear the temporary discomfort of saying no. But someone who can decline requests politely but firmly demonstrates a level of self-respect that's incredibly attractive. This courage shows up in countless situations: declining to stay out drinking when you have early commitments, refusing to participate in gossip about colleagues, saying no to financial requests that would strain your budget, or declining social invitations when you need rest. Each no requires choosing your authentic needs over others' expectations. I observed this at a work event where colleagues were pressuring someone to stay out much later than they wanted, drinking and socializing well past their comfort zone. The peer pressure was intense, jokes about being boring, accusations of not being a team player, and multiple attempts to convince them to change their mind. Instead of caving to the pressure or making elaborate excuses, they simply said, "No, I'm heading home now. Have a great rest of your evening." No defensive explanations, no apologies for their choice, no attempt to justify their decision. Just a clear, respectful boundary delivered with quiet confidence. What made this so attractive was the complete absence of guilt or shame in their response. They weren't apologetic about their needs or defensive about their choice. They simply knew what worked for them and communicated it clearly, regardless of others' preferences or pressure. People who can say no are magnetic because they demonstrate several attractive qualities simultaneously. First, they show self-awareness. They know their limits, values, and priorities. Second, they display self-respect. They believe their needs and boundaries matter enough to defend. Third, they exhibit integrity. They won't compromise their values for social approval. Most importantly, someone who can maintain boundaries with others signals they'll respect yours too. If they won't let people manipulate them into violating their own boundaries, they won't pressure you to violate yours either. This creates a foundation for healthy, respectful relationships. Epictetus taught extensively about understanding what is up to us and what isn't. Others' disappointment when you say no isn't up to you. Their emotional response to your boundaries is their responsibility. Saying no to inappropriate requests demonstrates this wisdom in action. The key is recognizing healthy boundary setting versus selfish inflexibility. Healthy no responses are delivered respectfully without excessive justification and protect legitimate needs or values. They're not about controlling others or being difficult. They're about self-respect and authenticity. Look for people who decline requests politely but firmly, who don't over-explain their no responses, and who seem comfortable disappointing others when necessary to maintain their integrity. These individuals have developed the rare ability to put their authentic needs before others' expectations. When someone can say no without guilt, defensiveness, or excessive explanation, they're revealing a level of self-respect and boundary awareness that makes them incredibly attractive. They've learned that their needs matter, their time has value, and their values aren't negotiable for social approval. Boundary setting shows remarkable self-respect, but our fifth word reveals someone's relationship with others' success and whether they can celebrate without hidden competition or resentment. Word number 5, congratulations with genuine enthusiasm. How someone reacts to your success reveals everything about their character. When someone says congratulations with genuine enthusiasm for your achievements, without hidden competitiveness, subtle resentment, or backhanded comments, it reveals secure self-worth, emotional maturity, and a generous spirit that's incredibly rare and attractive. Most people struggle with others' success because they view life through a scarcity lens, believing that someone else's win somehow diminishes their own possibilities. They might offer polite congratulations, but their body language, tone, or follow-up comments reveal underlying jealousy, competitiveness, or resentment. Some even disguise criticism as concern. Congratulations, but are you sure you're ready for that responsibility? But when someone can celebrate your success with authentic joy, as if it were their own achievement, it reveals a person with abundant mindset and secure sense of self. They don't see your success as threatening because they don't define their worth in comparison to others. I experienced this stark difference when I received a significant promotion at work. Most colleagues offered the standard polite congratulations, appropriate but clearly obligatory. Their responses felt hollow, going through the motions of workplace courtesy without genuine emotion behind the words. But one colleague's reaction was completely different. Her eyes lit up when she heard the news, and she said, "Congratulations! That's absolutely fantastic. You've worked so incredibly hard for this, and I'm just thrilled it's finally happening for you." Her genuine excitement was immediately apparent and deeply moving. She seemed almost as happy about my success as I was. What made her response so attractive wasn't just the enthusiasm, but the complete absence of any competitive edge or hidden agenda. There was no subtext of "why them and not me," or subtle attempts to diminish the achievement. She was genuinely celebrating another person's good fortune without making it about herself at all. People who can celebrate others' success without jealousy are magnetic because they signal several important character traits. First, they're emotionally secure. They don't need to diminish others to feel good about themselves. Second, they have abundant mindset. They believe there's enough success to go around. Third, they're genuinely supportive. They want good things for the people in their lives. This quality predicts how they'll behave in closer relationships. If they can celebrate your professional success without jealousy, they'll support your personal growth, cheer for your happiness, and encourage your dreams without feeling threatened. They'll be the kind of person who genuinely wants the best for you. Marcus Aurelius taught that we should be happy for others' good fortune as if it were our own, understanding that we're all part of the same human community. When someone embodies this principle naturally, they're demonstrating advanced character development and philosophical wisdom. The contrast becomes obvious when you pay attention. Watch people's faces when you share good news. Notice the difference between polite acknowledgement and genuine enthusiasm. Listen for the subtle qualifiers or concerns that reveal hidden resentment versus pure celebration. Look for people whose congratulations include specific details about why they're happy for you, who ask follow-up questions because they're genuinely interested, and whose body language matches their words. These individuals have developed the emotional security and generous spirit that makes them incredible friends, partners, and colleagues. When someone can say congratulations with authentic joy in their voice and eyes, they're revealing a character that doesn't see life as a competition, but as a community where everyone's success contributes to collective flourishing. Celebrating others shows emotional security and abundant mindset. But our final word reveals the deepest level of character, the capacity for genuine human connection and understanding. Word number 6. Understand, when showing empathy. The word understand reveals someone's capacity for genuine human connection. When someone says, "I understand," and truly means it, showing they've listened deeply, grasped your perspective, and can see the situation through your eyes, it reveals exceptional emotional intelligence, empathy, and the rare ability to connect authentically with others. Most people, when you're sharing something difficult or complex, are mentally preparing their response while you're still talking. They're thinking about their own similar experiences, formulating advice, or simply waiting for their turn to speak. But someone who can truly understand takes a completely different approach. They listen with their full attention, absorb your perspective, and respond from a place of genuine comprehension. This kind of deep understanding requires setting aside your own agenda entirely to focus on someone else's reality. It means resisting the urge to immediately relate everything back to your own experience or rush to provide solutions. Instead, it requires patience, curiosity, and genuine care about how the other person is experiencing their situation. I experienced this profound difference during a particularly challenging period when I was explaining a complex personal situation to different friends. Most people responded with immediate advice, comparisons to their own experiences, or attempts to cheer me up by minimizing the difficulty. While well-intentioned, these responses made me feel unheard and misunderstood. But one friend listened completely without interrupting, asked thoughtful questions to clarify details, and then said simply, "I understand why this is so overwhelming and painful for you." The uncertainty about the outcome while having to make such important decisions would be incredibly stressful. They had truly grasped not just the facts of my situation, but the emotional reality of living through it. What made this so powerful was that they weren't trying to fix, minimize, or relate my experience to their own. They were simply witnessing and acknowledging my reality with complete acceptance and understanding. This created a sense of being truly seen and valued that's incredibly rare and deeply attractive. Genuine understanding is magnetically attractive because it's so uncommon. In a world where everyone is competing to be heard, someone who truly listens and understands makes you feel valued and respected. They create a safe space where you can be authentic without fear of judgment, advice, or having your experience dismissed. This reveals several profound character traits simultaneously. First, it shows emotional maturity. They can handle others' pain without needing to fix or change it. Second, it demonstrates genuine empathy. They can feel with you without making it about themselves. Third, it reveals secure self-worth. They don't need to demonstrate their wisdom or relate everything to their own experience. Marcus Aurelius emphasized the importance of understanding others' motivations and perspectives, recognizing that this understanding is essential for wisdom and effective relationships. Those who practice this naturally create the kind of deep connections that most people crave but rarely experience. The distinction between genuine and superficial understanding is usually obvious. Real understanding is specific to your situation, demonstrates they've absorbed the nuances of what you've shared, and doesn't immediately pivot to advice or comparisons. Fake understanding offers generic sympathy or rushes to solutions without truly grasping your perspective. Look for people who ask clarifying questions, who reflect back what they've heard to ensure accuracy, and who can sit with your emotions without needing to change them. These individuals have developed the emotional intelligence and genuine care that creates the foundation for the deepest and most meaningful relationships. When someone truly understands you, they're offering one of the greatest gifts possible, the experience of being fully seen, heard, and accepted for exactly who you are and what you're experiencing. These 6 words reveal the kind of character that naturally attracts others through virtue rather than manipulation or performance. Character is the foundation of all real attraction. Surface charm might capture attention temporarily, but only virtue creates lasting connection and genuine respect. People are instinctively drawn to those who demonstrate authenticity, courage, and empathy because these qualities signal safety, reliability, and depth. If you believe character development matters more than social tricks, like this video and subscribe to Stoic Training to learn how to build inner strength and authentic magnetism through ancient wisdom. Comment below, which of these 6 words do you find hardest to say genuinely? Your honesty might help others grow. Remember, be the person you'd want to meet.